Following up from the GME news on their earnings report. So we did close right above $50, which the retail traders really did good to push the market makers' hand to close right above. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are. This is your boy Francis. You're welcome to the Trading Success Show. What I'll be doing here today is going to be talking more about the market and also on large cap, high price stocks. That will be the idea here on the popular weekend chart demand. We saw what happened in the market last week, and for a recap, I also made a video last week as per what I'm expecting based on the weekend popular chart demand. And in this video, let's take a quick listen on what I said, right? Right now, looking for it, you'll be looking for the 20 exponential moving average, the 447, 445 as our support if we decide to pull back in the market. This candle here is a doji bar. That's right, guys. Well, you've had it. Okay. Now what I'm looking for now in the market is going to be for price to hold the 445 area. Okay, so let me pull this up real quick so that we can see this, right? So what I'm looking for in the market is for price to really, because after that doji we just sold right off, right? I said price will retest the 450 and then push lower into this 20 exponential moving average. That is where we are right now, and we close right below it. So I'll be expecting price to hold around this 445, or even price take a little push down into this trend. Okay, because this trend has been a trend of support so far. If price doesn't hold this first trend, then we'll pull to the 441, 440 area as our bounce area. If price doesn't bounce off this 445 spot. Good. So right now, with that being said, let's get into the stocks. The first one here is going to be AAPL. What I'm looking for AAPL is I'm looking for price to really bounce off this 146, 147 area. That is what I'm expecting Apple to do, because this area is the area of our support. So keep an eye on Apple. ABBV, this is a stock I said last week that I need more downside on the name. I also mentioned this on that weekend popular chart demand as well. So right now we are around the 106 spot. Okay, if price can pull lower into the $100, 102, I think I'll be grabbing some more for my long-term hold, long-term portfolio. But there's nothing wrong in a momentum stock like this that pays dividend. You're buying and buying and buying on the way into our $100 if it comes. So keep an eye on that one. AFRM, this one is also another stock that I talked about last week, that the resistance is right around this area. So we did pull lower into this trend, and guess what happened? News came up, and then we shoot into the 142 124 area. So I'm looking for price to really push back down to the 115 120 area again, then before we continue pushing, right? So the next one is going to be our AI. Okay, keep an eye on this one right now. My area of resistance is the 52 40, 52, 50 area. That is my resistance spot with support right now on this trend. Okay, so our first support, immediate support, is the 20 exponential moving average. If that doesn't hold, then we'll be looking for price to pull into this, uptrend support. So keep an eye on it. 52.50 break, I think we'll continue pushing higher into the 60. AMC pretty much, following up from the GME news on their earnings report. So we did close right above $50, which the retail traders really did good to push the market makers' hand to close right above 50. So many of all those premium got in the money. So right now I'll be expecting 50, 51, 52 area break. I think we'll see 55 easily, but right now we're looking at between 55 and 65 as the momentum push. Otherwise 50 will offer and hold as a normal resistance spot. So keep an eye on it. If price decide to push back down to $45, that is where you want to see more buying coming into the name, because this will also coincide with our 20 exponential moving average. AMD right now, the reason why I like AMD, and I also don't like AMD, the reason why I like AMD is because price is working its way around the 20 exponential moving average, which is a continuation of a trend pattern. And as well, I don't like it because it's right on support. Okay, with the market pulling back down, we'll be looking for price to come down and reset around this 102, 102.50 spot. So AMD is a watch. ATVI is also another long-term kind of name for me. So I've been picking up some around this area, just few quarter of a position size that I normally take. So I'll be looking for price the 81.51. BB, also I like the way this is really setting up. I'm looking for a run up into the $12 break. I think we'll continue to push higher on BB. BB is holding the 200 moving average right now, which also is a 3-bar play. So I'll be looking for the break of 10.75 into 11 and then $12 on BB. BARK, this one as well, this is our trend, so keep an eye on that trend. BABA is another one to take a look at. Right now our downtrend is going to be the 175 180 zone. So we get to 180, I think we'll feel this gap that is right here, so keep an eye on this name as well. Boeing is another name to keep an eye on. Boeing has been a messy trade so far, because if you're thinking about a long-term hold, I think right now you are really losing out if you were picking around the 240 235 area. My idea is to pick up some at the break of the 215 area, and right now we're around the 210, so I'll be looking for picking some and then staging that trade between the 210 and 205 area. If 200 comes, still fine. I will go with it, right? AXSM, this one right now, keep an eye on this one. We're looking at the $28 break. We break $28, I think we can get to 35 easily to anticipate the gap fill. So this is a huge gap fill. Keep an eye on this one. I have some position on it, but it's going to be for a long term, not for a short term. COMP, this one as well, look for a support around here. Our resistance is now 15.25, 15.14. So if price does bounce off this trend, of which has been defining this area as a support, which is trend support, I'll be expecting price to bounce off this area in anticipation of a push into the 15.25, 15.50 spot. Now let's take a look at COIM, Coinbase. All right, with issue about regulation and cracking down on firms and all that dealing with currency, I think we are breaking this level right now. We broke the 250, which is our support, right? Natural support. So right now I will be looking for price to visit the 240. If 240 doesn't hold, then I'll be expecting more on the downside on COIM. DIS as well. This is a Disney play. If you got this stock when we were really exciting on breaking this resistance, you are actually doing good right now because you've made over 8 points on this trade. So it is also good that price pulled back into this trend. So look for this trend as a support. If trend doesn't hold, you'll be looking for price to visit the 181, 180 spot. If price then pull back to this 188 spot, I'll be looking for continuation into the $200 on this name. So this Disney play is going to be for a long term on the name. Baidu, Chinese play as well. So what you're going to be looking for on Baidu is this resistance. This is a very solid area of resistance right now. We break $170 per share, I think we'll be able to push into the 180. If this area doesn't hold in terms of support resistance zone, which is going to be the supply zone, then we'll be looking for price to visit the 160 spot, which is our 20 exponential moving average, right? Now let's get into BBBY. Okay, this is Bed Bath and Beyond. Okay, right now we're making what I call some form of a triple bottom. This is the first bottom, second bottom. Now we're making another bottom. So this is going to define our triple bottom if it's solid enough to continue pushing higher or lower. But $24 is your area of support on BBBY. CrowdStrike is another name. Okay, right now one thing about this is CrowdStrike is pulling back to retest this breakout spot, right? So right now you should expect CrowdStrike to hold this 262-260 area as a form of a support. If that doesn't hold, you'll be looking for what? The 50 exponential moving average, which is the 256 area, as a support. And that doesn't hold, you'll be looking for 250, okay, which is going to be our trend support. Or pending the market, if the market does good this coming week because of this correction, then we'll be looking for price to really push back up on CrowdStrike, CRWD. Now let's take a look at Cisco and see what Systems is doing. Right now we're pulling back into this breakout spot, this breakout zone, so keep an eye on it. We failed this 20 exponential moving average. We'll be looking for that to really pull back to. FUBO is another name. FUBO has been a long-term hold for me, and I'll be holding FUBO until we get back into the 50s. So this is a long-term hold. Nothing much to say about it. Down, our resistance is right here around $31. We break $31, I think we'll be looking at $35-40 on the name. Facebook as well. Facebook is really good right now. The reason why I said Facebook is good, if you look at the previous price action, this is what happened, and guess what? Boom, we retest that breakout, then boom, right? Then pull back again, retest a little bit, somehow the breakout spot, and then we just continue pushing higher. So I'll be expecting Facebook to continue pushing higher. If Facebook doesn't hold this trend, expect 371, 372 area visit on Facebook. GME, I did talk about GME, what I was expecting GME to do after the earnings report, and it did that, right? I was expecting price to pull back into the 177 180 area, and price did pull back into that 175 177 area. It didn't get to my 175, but $2 is nothing to write home about with all this huge swing. And then guess what? Price pulled back into the 200 again, double top, and now we're pulling back into the 50 exponential moving average. So keep an eye on GME just in case they start buying this. But overall on this name, I'll be looking for price to visit the 160 area for another momentum push higher. But also keep an eye on AMC as well. Google. Google one, we are pulling back into this support. Support is 20 exponential moving average. So this area holds, then expect a bounce, because even Amazon right now is holding up. So if this area doesn't hold this $2,800 spot, I'll be looking for $2,750 as a form of support. Lyft as well. This one has been a very messy trade. If you bought around here, I think you really took a huge beating, and price pulled back to retest that area, then back down again to retest this bottom, double bottom bounce. So look for price to really consolidate a little bit more around this area, and then push into the 52, which is going to be our resistance. Goldman Sachs. This one also, I don't know. I just don't like the name, because I miss all these moves. So for this, just keep an eye for price to revisit the 200, the $400. If $400 fail, I'll be looking for this area as a 392, 390 as a support. IMNM, this one as well. This is the area I want price to really gap fill. So look for 200 moving average to break, which is our $20, and then we continue pushing higher on the name. CLOV as well. This one is going to be a long-term hold for me, and I'm expecting price to bounce off this area. If it doesn't, look for $8. Overall, I'll be looking for price to visit the $12 on CLOV. Kroger. I've been wanting to get in Kroger for quite a while. So I think this is an opportunity to also get in Kroger if you want. If you look at this trend right now, we'll be looking around $40 as an area, $40, $41 for this to visit if this area doesn't hold, right? But instead of me buying around this area, I think it's better to buy around here, right? If you're holding for a long term. INTC as well, keep an eye on this one. I do like this one, Intel Corp. The thing is, it's been beaten down a lot, and the price is still around this $53, $54 spot. So I'll be looking for price to break $55. If we break $55, that means our 200 moving average is a done deal into a push to our $58.60 on the name. Now let's take a look at lots real quick. LOTZ. This one as well, I'll be looking for price 450 break. I think we'll continue pushing higher on the name. I have an exposure on that. Netflix, there's nothing wrong with watching your movie and chilling, right? Right now we're really extended on Netflix. I'll be, my mind is always open for a pullback, but overall keep an eye on $600 break. We break 600, I'll be looking for price to visit this resistance as well. But if this area fail, I'll be looking for a retest of the breakout spot on Netflix. NEO, well, Neo right now, my eye is going to be on the $36 spot. That is what I'll be watching. And NDM as well. We have resistance and support. Right now, 650 is the area you want to watch for a break. If that breaks, I think you'll be doing good. Right now, we are in the demand zone. $6 break, I think that's where you'll be looking at putting your stop loss, just right below it. Nvidia as well, you want to look at Nvidia because right now we pull back to retest this area of support. So right now I'll be expecting more action on Nvidia to the upside. If the market still keep correcting, they will be looking for price to pull back into the 217, 215 on Nvidia. Tesla. For Tesla, like I said, you know, if price cannot break 760, well, I'll be looking for a pullback on Tesla. That really happened. So I'll be looking for a pullback and a pullback into the 735, 730, and then the 725 area. So right now I'll be looking for price to revisit the 725, 720 spot as our support. That is what I'll be looking for on Tesla, so keep an eye on that. OTLY, this is a long-term hold for me. I'm still holding it as I'm looking for price to break the $20 spot. We break this 1950, I think $20 will come in and then we'll continue pushing higher. PDD, this one, I'm looking for a pullback on this name. Right now, we're consolidating right around this 50 exponential moving average. If this area holds, look for price to visit the 110 spot. Otherwise, if this, you know, area fails, I'll be looking for $98, $95 on the name. Okay, on PDD. Now, Tellery has been a failed follow through. So I don't know. I just think, you know, my losses here will probably maybe make something later on in the future, but I'm back holding this. I'm taking a loss on this one, and not that I'm taking a loss, I'm losing on it, and because I haven't sold, but I'll continue holding and looking for support area to add to my position. Wish, this one as well, I think it's about time for this to really push higher, but keep an eye on it. It doesn't look good right now, but I'm expecting this gap to really fill. Saver, I'll be looking for this 52.75, 53 area to break, and then we'll continue pushing into the $60, $70 spot. I do like it. I will be adding to my Saver. A small one that I really want you to keep an eye on, to just buy and hold, set it up somewhere and just forget about it, is a View. View as well, right now this is our trend, our downtrend. So we're trying to hold the 20 exponential moving average. If this area holds, I'll be expecting $6 easily on the name. PLTR is also another long-term hold for me. Right now, we're about to break the $27 spot. With a favorable market, I think we'll be able to break into the $30 spot. Keep an eye on it as we are bouncing right off the 20 exponential moving average right now. OSTK, keep an eye on this one, because every time we visit this trend, this uptrend, we always often bounce right off. So look for 20 exponential moving average to break, and then we'll be pushing into the $725, $75 spot on OSTK. I do like it, but the fact that, you know, the 50 exponential moving average is crossing the 200 SMA, you have to keep an eye on it just in case. But if the 20 exponential moving average, you know, breaks out, and we'll be looking for $72.50, $75 on this name. And but one, because this is going to be the last one. The rest, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna post it up on my Twitter account, and then you guys can, you know, take a look at the chart. Is Walmart. Walmart has been a long-term hold for me, and you know, the push into the 150, 152 area, I sold some of my position, which is like a quarter of my position, in anticipation of a pullback. We got a pullback. The reason why I you know, took some off was because of this. really extended, and you know, this is the time the big boys will be taking money, right? So as a result, I took some off because we couldn't really, you know, break. I thought I was going to lose here, but guess what? Price really pulled back up. I took some off the table, and I'm holding the remaining one just in case this 50 exponential moving average 145 area holds, and then we'll continue pushing higher. Why? It's because this 145 144 area is our breakout spot. Most stocks often pull back into the breakout spot to retest it and then continue pushing higher. If that area is not solid enough, guess what is going to happen? It's going to pull back to the nearest support. That is how stock normally, you know, react. Like this one, this is the final one I'm going to put out there, is going to be open. Okay, Open Door Technologies, this one as well. I think I do like this one because, you know, if we can hold this $19-18 spot, I think we'll continue pushing higher into the 23 on this one. Guys, thank you for being here. These are the stocks, these are the tickers I'll be watching for the coming week, and of course the ones I'm holding for a long term in my portfolio. If you have any questions, concern, or if you want me to take a look at any ticker or stocks, just, you know, email me at tradingsuccessshow@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter and on StockTweet. In the description you'll find more details about more stocks and my information. So thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and then we will never forget those during the 9/11 attack. So with that being said, thank you guys for being here. Peace and love, guys. Bye bye.